Imagine you're at a diner, but this diner does not serve food. Instead, all the content you could want. For today's meal, you request a story the likes of which video games couldn't make up. After a few minutes, I bring out your drinks, maybe an appetizer if you're feeling extra peckish, and I approach your table with the iconic spherical lid over a silver platter. And as I'm approaching, I slowly remove this lid and place the platter in the center of your table. Underneath the lid is a video game plot twist, only performed in real life. This man is Theodore John Conrad, or as he was known for the last 51 years of his life, Thomas Randele. Born in 1949, he was an extremely intelligent man, passing all A's in high school along with being top on the student council. After having a relatively calm first 20 years of his life, he decided to apply for a teller position at the Society National Bank headquarters in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, keep in mind, the security was low as this was the late 1960s and early 1970s, so he was hired relatively quickly and assigned to work in the cash vault where he packaged money for society branches around town. Yet, only a few months into his position, he would pull off an incredible stealth heist, the like of which the Payday crew could only wish to achieve. He walked in for another regular shift on the day of July 11th, except he had brought a paper bag in with him. Now, this wasn't normal, as he normally didn't bring anything in with him, save for maybe a pen or something he would need later for that day. Then he walked into the cash vault like normal, but instead of working his shift, he stuffed $215,000 into this bag and just walked off. Just like that, he was gone for good, never seen again. And as an 8-foot tall man would say,
Gone. Reduced to atoms.
This was because 2 days after, he immediately moved away and changed his name to Thomas Randele. He then married in 1982 and had a daughter soon after. He worked as a car salesman for pretty much the rest of his life. And the money that he stole, which for reference is now about $2 million in today's terms, was quickly spent on golf equipment and even a penthouse. Now, that would be the end of the story for Thomas Randele if it weren't for how he chose to live the rest of his life. Fast forward to March of 2021, and Thomas was going to his first chemotherapy session for lung cancer. This session went relatively well, but after this first session, he wanted to talk to his daughter back in his hospital room. He then revealed to his daughter a secret in the most video game fashion ever. I'm talking not even Skyrim could fucking pull this off. While he lay on his hospital bed, he explained to his daughter that he was not Thomas Randele, but in fact Theodore Conrad, a bank robber. He then told her not to look into the story anymore because he wanted to keep that fatherly figure view that she had of him. But obviously, as anyone else would do in this situation, she quickly brought up the internet after leaving his room to find out who Conrad really was. And that would pretty much be the end of the story. But after his death 2 months later, she would then bring this story out into the public, even telling Inside Edition that
shocked isn't a big enough word.
She then started a whole ass podcast on the situation as well, called Smokescreen, My Fugitive Dad. The creation of her podcast and the telling of the events would actually end this story for good. Alright, so I know that this isn't really a normal video for my channel, considering I'm mainly a gaming channel that pops a lot of jokes, but I saw this story come out about a month ago, and I've been thinking about how I would cover it ever since, because this is genuinely one of the funniest stories I have ever seen. But either way, I do hope it was enjoyable at least, if not a little bit of cringe at parts, but that's probably where some of the enjoyment comes from. But yeah, even though it wasn't what I would normally do, I think it's a good transition into trying to turn into a solo channel, hopefully. But yeah, that's all I really have for this week. Hopefully I'll see you next week for my first ever solo gaming video. And I'll have my new webcam, so my model won't be so fucking twitchy. But yeah, I love you all, and take care.